Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. We're here a little bit early today as we bring you some breaking news that the Seahawks have claimed Jonathan Abram off waivers from the Green Bay Packers. His stay with Green Bay was short after spending the beginning of his career with the Las Vegas Raiders. We will completely break it all down for you and tell you everything that you need to know about Jonathan Abram as he joins this Seattle Seahawks team. I see everybody starting to file in and get going here. This is our build-up portion of the show where we invite you guys to come on in and stay a while and interact with the show as we get going today. Where are you watching from? Here's what I want to do. Shout out your zip code. And by the way, just so we're clear, folks, your zip code is the 5 digits that's involved in your mailing address. That is not the area code associated with your phone number. Your zip code is associated with your mailing address. So where are you watching from today? Shout out your zip code. Okay, got to little fix my mic here. That's why we're in the... Okay, try that one more time. Let's see. Adjusting some microphones here, folks. Give us 1 second here. Nonetheless, Michael, that's an area code. We're asking for zip codes today. Is that better, Jeremy? Okay. Jeremy's going to adjust my mic, and while we're doing that, let's shout out the zip codes and see where everybody's at. Daniel is 29316. Michael is 9020. Thank you, Jeremy, for adjusting accordingly. Mikey in Houston is in the area code 77006. 77006. Dat Fat Rat, I'm literally at the Seattle airport. Dat Fat Rat was in Mexico for a bit there. Welcome back to America, Dat Fat Rat. Ashley Bach is 98244. Cheatman Fireworks, 98271. James, again, that's an area code. That's not a zip code, but nice try. Junior, 97401. Keaton, 98020. Smiley McKinnon, 87020. Lewis Williams in 92883. Mark in 99669. James Watson in 07208. That's in Jersey. Caston in 67206 in Wichita, Kansas. I like Wichita, Kansas. Great town. Let's see. We got Keaton at 06001. And I'm here with Jeremy Chuggs. Jeremy, off the top of your head, do you know what your zip code is?
Ooh. My zip code, yes, I actually do. 75080.
75080, okay. My zip code is 75204 is the number where I'm at.
Okay.
So, do you know the office zip code?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
As lunch manager, it's something I have to know.
You have to know. I don't know the office zip code off the top of my head.
75201. That's
Okay.
downtown Dallas for you, baby.
There you go. I like that. Good work, everybody. Shout out your zip code where you're watching from. Also, the World Cup is in action as we're narrowing down the group stage and moving on to the knockout round. The U.S. has moved on.
USA.
Going to play the Netherlands
USA.
on Saturday.
USA.
Who are you rooting for?
USA. 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 USA.
You can tell who Jeremy and I are rooting for. Obviously, we're going for the U.S. Who are you rooting for in the chat? I know we got an international audience here, so let us know. Who are you rooting for in the World Cup? Let's see what the chat says.
Cracking one open.
Cracking one open. I am doing what they cannot do at the World Cup, and that's drink a nice cold beer. Shout out to the Qataris that are not fortunate enough to have a cold Michelob Ultra like me.
Viva Mexico from Dat Fat Rat.
Let's see. Hike Then Shoot says our first 2 rounds in the draft should focus on a center, and we'll talk about the draft later. Michael says, if America, I root for my roots. Who's your roots then? Connor's rooting for England. Junior's rooting for Mexico. But Brazil is the second choice. America's not your second choice?
Mexico got eliminated today.
Did they? Good. Glad to see Mexico. Get out of here, Mexico.
Oh, nah. I root for Mexico. Connor McGowan says England.
Michael says USA, England, and Germany. Are you allowed to root for 3 teams? That might be a bit successive. Mikey says, I believe that we will win.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
We also, I see a Go Hawks in there. Hey,
Dude,
you can't go wrong rooting for the Seahawks.
We were so on sync for that. I'm sorry.
We were. The USA chant, the I believe chant, I'm fired up today.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, pound your chest a little bit, folks. Let's get excited. The Seahawks just picked up Jonathan Abram today. We're talking draft. We're going to preview the Rams matchup on Sunday. How can you not feel good about today? Lewis says U.S. all day long.
Speaking of that matchup, really important question here.
Will you boo or cheer Bobby Wagner in his return this weekend? If you would boo, type B for boo, type C for cheer. Russell Wilson made his return week 1, and overwhelmingly there were boos when he entered the tunnel. How about Bobby Wagner this time? He goes to a division rival. It's twofold here with Bobby, right, Jeremy? Because he did not leave on his own accord. He was cut, but at the same time, too, he did willingly choose to go play for the LA Rams, who just won the Super Bowl. Pulled a Kevin Durant. Obviously, they're not as good as what they were a year ago, but nonetheless, I can see some mixed emotions.
And, you know, he's moving to a team that he knows is going to play the Seahawks.
Right. Twice a year. Same division. A rival.
Division rival.
I'm seeing, so far, all cheers at this point. No boos. Everyone's feeling kind towards Bobby Wagner.
Well, I mean, also, when you think about those Super Bowl teams, Bobby Wagner was the best player on the team, in my opinion.
Ninja says cheer and boo. Okay. So a little bit of both.
How would that sound?
Cheer!
Boo!
Cheer! Boo! Charlie's cheering. User from the 509's cheering. Worthless mixed emotions. Yeah. James, love Bobby, but boo! He's trying to keep my team from winning.
Bobby Boucher.
Let's see. Michael says he didn't insult our team and fans and lie about leaving. Fair.
That's true.
User says we love Bobby. See, lots of cheers. See, still some USA chants in there as well. So, see, the majority are cheering for Bobby Wagner there. By the way, I see we have 46 people watching. We're on a little bit early, obviously. We still have 5 minutes till the scheduled start time, but we had to get going with this news about Jonathan Abram here. And so as you guys file in, smash that like button and make sure everyone else, as they get here as well, hits the like button as well. We also have a poll question up right now. Should the Seahawks draft a QB in the first round? 56 votes so far. 55% of you say no.
Ooh.
45% say yes. We'll continue to follow that.
That's pretty close.
Today. Yes.
One more question before we get into today's show. What's y'all's confidence level that the Seahawks are making the playoffs? I mean, 54% don't have a high confidence level.
Yeah. So the New York Times, they do their playoff predictor thing, and they have given the Seahawks a 50% chance as of today to make the playoffs. So on that scale, according to the New York Times, and some people would call the New York Times fake news, would say that would be 5 out of 10, basically, based on our skill here.
Fake news.
That Fat Rat says 5. Michael says 6. User from the 509 says 7. Ninja Chunkin says 7. Mikey in Houston says 7. Let's see. Connor says it was an 8, but now a 5.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see. What else we got? What is the confidence level? What about you, Jeremy? What would be your confidence level?
I mean, I think you'll at least get a wild card spot. Mine is still pretty high. I'm going to say a 7, 7.5, 8, somewhere in that 7 to 8 range. If we're going to 100, I'm saying 74.
Things get crazy towards the last week or two of the regular season. I think the schedule, about every game the rest of the way out is winnable, except really that Chiefs game that's going to be tough to win at Arrowhead. But I think the Seahawks can make the playoffs comfortably, feel fine at 10-7.
Yeah.
I think you feel good. That would be 2 more losses on the year.
Most people are in that same range. I see 5, 6, 9, 7, 8. Average of that is around 7.
Yeah, I think everybody's feeling about a 7 is the number that we give. So we're a little bit higher than the fake news New York Times that says a 5 out of 10. So how about that? 16 likes right now. Everybody, I need you to smash that like button. If you're ready to start, if you want us to have a great show today, if you want the latest happenings in your favorite team and get this thing started on the right note, then smash that like button if you would. We certainly would appreciate it. And
you hitting that?
Yeah, I'm hitting that.
You hitting that?
Yeah, you hitting that?
You hitting that like button?
Oh, yeah. Let's hit it. Let's hit it, baby.
Are you?
Also, we will show you here the happy hour special super chat menu. Worthless, thank you for telling everybody to like the video.
Dat Fat Rat, I know you just left Mexico, but it's always happy hour over here.
It's always happy hour over here. Let me put this in the chat right now. Make sure you all like the video.
Any super chat, Tyler's going to give you a shout out.
You get right on air immediately. $2 super chat. You can ask me or Jeremy Chugs anything. We can talk American football. We can talk football, World Cup. We can talk about our personal lives, whatever you guys are feeling. You can ask us anything for $2. $5, take a shot. I have the fireball in hand here. We need to give Jonathan Abram a warm welcome here. I think we need to take some shots today for Jonathan Abram as he joins the Seahawks. Every $10, we'll chug a beer. I got my Michelob Ultra in hand that is banned in Qatar. And then every $150, we take down the boot. We took down a boot last week. Jeremy Chugs did. So I guess I'm up. I got to get one out of the way first. And the Boot Hall of Fame. Every $100 gets you a spot on the Boot Hall of Fame. We have already, Jeremy, through 3.5 weeks, filled up one side of the boot. And so now we got to start making our progress on the other side of this boot and fill this thing up. And what happens when you get a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame, you don't get the Reggie Bush treatment. You are on this thing forever till the end of time. And we'll do an induction ceremony for you. You'll be remembered. The 12s will show you some love in the chat, and you'll be memorialized and be known as one of the great ones to ever be a part of the Seahawks Today chat. $100 gets you a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. So that's what we're offering today. Got a couple mailbags that we'll do as well.
I already see some questions going in, but no hashtag Seahawks. Like Jonathan Vasquez, great comment / question. If you want to ask us or if you want to get on the show, use hashtag Seahawks in your comment. That way I can help Tyler, or I can find the questions to give to Tyler. But you got to use hashtag Seahawks.
It makes it a lot easier for Jeremy if you use that hashtag Seahawks. That's the way you get on the mailbag, or you get super chat and you'll go right to the front of the line on the mailbag as well. So we're at 25 likes right now. We're going to go ahead and get this thing started because we don't want to wait on this Jonathan Abram news. But as you guys file in and as everyone else gets here, hit that like button as well. If you're excited about this news about Jonathan Abram, if you love your Seattle Seahawks, you want to see a win this weekend, smash that like button. We'll get started here on Seahawks Today live on this Wednesday. It's happy hour. Let's talk about Jonathan Abram right now here on Seahawks Today. Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. Coming up on today's show, we will get you the breaking news on Jonathan Abram, who has been claimed by the Seahawks. Also, we will look ahead to the 2023 NFL Draft. Should the Seahawks take a quarterback in the first round, and what does that all mean for Geno Smith? We'll break down all of that coming up in just a few moments from right now. Let's begin with Jonathan Abram, claimed off waivers from the Green Bay Packers. And the waiver wire, in case you don't know how that works, folks, in Abram's case, this is not a practice squad pickup. He immediately goes to the active roster for the Seattle Seahawks. We'll see him there right away for this team. And for Abram, this is going to be his third team that he's played for in 2022. Began the season with the Raiders. They ultimately moved on from him. He goes to Green Bay. His visit wasn't very long with the Green Bay Packers, and now he ends up in Seattle. And you may be asking yourself, well, why now? Why are the Seahawks bringing on Jonathan Abram? Well, with the injury to Ryan Neal, we heard from Pete Carroll say a couple days ago that he felt like it wasn't too bad in regards to his injury, that he felt like things were going to be okay and that we could see Ryan Neal back as early as this week, and then he expected Neal to be back this week. But it's better to be safe than sorry. The Seahawks needed another option of some sorts, and that's where Jonathan Abram comes in here, is to fill that void. And we know that he's got a lot of potential for talent. Obviously, he hasn't quite put it together at this point in his career, but nonetheless, this is not a bad find for the Seahawks considering these circumstances that we're talking about. This is somebody that we mentioned, first-round pick back in 2019, previously played for Las Vegas and Green Bay, was waived by the Raiders back on November 8th, and then the Packers waived him just a couple days ago on November 29th. And the stats for Jonathan Abram at this point in his career, 2022, he's accounted for 50 tackles, 1 pass breakup, no interceptions at this point. Last season, had 116 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1 pass breakup, and 1 interception. 2020, he had 86 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 5 pass breakups, and 2 interceptions. And then in 2019, you can see he didn't play much, had 5 tackles with 1 pass breakup there. So with that said, for Seattle here, this is a situation where it is a low risk and high reward. And it buys time for Ryan Neal. We heard the Seahawks say that they were going to be cautious when it came to getting Ryan Neal back on the football field. And you look at the depth chart for Seattle, Josh Jones and Quandre Diggs leading the way there, and Ryan Neal has been certainly effective for this Seattle Seahawks team when he's been out there. Remember, this team is still filling in a gap here in regards to Jamal Adams, who's been out since week 1. And so just finding any piece they can to make this work, that's what Seattle's doing here with this signing of Jonathan Abram. I think it's solid. For me, claiming him off waivers, picking up his contract as is, and finding a piece to fill a void for right now, I don't know how you can't give this an A. This is our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. And let me know, how would you grade the signing of Jonathan Abram? Type A, B, C, D, or F, and let me know in the comment section below how you're feeling about this signing. Let's talk about the 2023 draft now. Will the Seahawks sign Geno Smith and draft a quarterback in the first round of next year's draft? As the Seahawks look towards next year and plan accordingly here, many wonder, can you do both? Can you bring back Geno but still draft a quarterback in the first round? Remember, Seattle has not one but 2 first-round picks. And so would you use one of those on a quarterback but still bring back Geno, or do you have to pick one or the other? That's the question on a lot of people's minds right now. Brady Henderson of ESPN, who covers the Seahawks, had this to say. It's too early to make a call on this with any degree of confidence because of all the unknowns of play. The Seahawks would no doubt want to re-sign Smith if he maintains his play from the first half of the season. But what will his market look like after one strong season that followed 7 as a backup? Will Smith, not that Will Smith, drive a hard bargain in order to make up for all the money he didn't earn while playing on a minimum salary deals? He's currently 5th in QBR at 64.2 and is leading the NFL in completion percentage at 72.8%. Keep in mind that Seahawks GM John Schneider came up with the Packers under Ron Wolf, who drafted quarterbacks regularly, even though Green Bay had Brett Favre entrenched as the starter. So it's plausible Seattle could keep Smith either on a multi-year deal or a franchise tag and also draft a quarterback early. Seahawks have the Broncos' first-rounder, which is currently projected to be number 2 overall per ESPN's Football Power Index. And so, here's the deal. I've said this before, and I will say this again. If I'm Pete Carroll, and if I'm John Schneider, it all comes down to this. Is there a quarterback you fall in love with in this draft? If it's Bryce Young, if it's C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, whoever it may be, if there's a quarterback you love, then you go get him. I think you bring Geno back no matter what. Assuming that he plays at the level he's at right now, he's worth bringing back next year, absolutely, and giving him that multi-year deal and letting the next guy sit behind Geno Smith. I think those two things can coexist. We've seen that work out in the past. Case in point, look at the Kansas City Chiefs with Alex Smith and then transitioning things over to Patrick Mahomes. But if there's not a guy you absolutely love, then wait till next year and go get Caleb Williams as far as I'm concerned. So with that, should Seattle draft a QB in the first round and re-sign Geno? Should they do both? If you think they should, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Let me know what you're feeling in the comment section below. Y for yes, in for no. If Seattle should draft a QB in the first round and sign Geno Smith to a multi-year contract. Now, here's another factor that's very interesting in all of this, is that we have been told, according to reports, that the Seahawks want both Geno Smith and Drew Lock back next year. The Seahawks currently right now just carry 2 quarterbacks on the active roster. Sean Mannion is your practice squad quarterback. And so with that, you wonder, well, if you're going to move on, if you're going to bring in a quarterback, then Drew Lock's definitely out of the equation, right? So what does that all look like? What are the top quarterbacks for next year's draft? Well, the latest quarterback rankings from Todd McShay of ESPN, this came out within the last week or two. Here's the top quarterbacks out there and some possible options for the Seahawks with either one of these first-round picks. Obviously, you start with Bryce Young, the Heisman Trophy winner from a season ago at Alabama, and Bryce Young's been terrific. And I know that he might be a little undersized, but the thing that I like most about Bryce Young is that he can put the team on his back. Where would this Alabama team be this year without Bryce Young? That's the million-dollar question I think we all wonder, because he has carried this team a lot. And despite maybe being undersized, you know that he's a heck of a leader and that he's a gamer. To me, that seems like a good fit for the Seattle team potentially if Bryce Young's your guy. We'll get to the other names here in just a second. Before we do, today's show is presented by BetUS, the exclusive sportsbook partner of Chat Sports. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, use the promo code Seahawks125. You'll get a 125% deposit bonus. Put $100 down. You get $125 to spend for free. That's at chatsports.com/bet. You can bet on this weekend's NFL action. You can also bet on college football. It's championship week in college football. You can bet on the NBA, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're vibing with. The World Cup, it's all in one place. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Seahawks125. The next name is C.J. Stroud out of the Ohio State. And C.J. Stroud put up gaudy numbers this year and throughout his career at Ohio State. But my concern with C.J. Stroud is not a concern I would have with Bryce Young, and that's the fact that we have seen Bryce Young be a gamer and lead his team to victory. C.J. Stroud, in some of the biggest moments of his career, kind of fell apart, was not that guy, if you want to call him that. Look, all the things add up when it comes to size and athleticism and all that, but is the moment too big for C.J. Stroud? Potentially it is. That's my concern when it comes to Stroud, but you can't argue with the raw intangibles that he brings to the table potentially. If you had to pick between these two, C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, who are you going with? If it's C.J. Stroud, type C.J. If it's Bryce Young, type B.Y. Let me know in the comment section which one you're feeling. C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, type C.J. for Stroud, type B.Y. for Bryce Young. Now, personally, I think when you get past Young and Stroud, there's a significant drop-off. The number 3 quarterback on McShay's quarterback list is Will Levis out of Kentucky. And Will Levis, certainly talented, but it has been a roller coaster of peaks and valleys for Will Levis. The natural talent is there, but the consistency hasn't been there for Will Levis. But also you have to factor in that he wasn't at necessarily a powerhouse program in Kentucky and didn't have the weapons that guys like Stroud or Bryce Young did. Number 4 on the list is Hendon Hooker. Hooker was leading the Heisman race. Tennessee looked like that they had a chance to go to the playoff. This has been the best year they've had in a very long time there with that Volunteers program. Josh Heupel, as head coach, has done a terrific job developing him. But there's 2 things with Hendon Hooker. One, he's an older quarterback, so you're not getting a young guy like you are Bryce Young or Stroud or Levis. And 2, he tore his ACL a week or 2 ago in that loss to South Carolina. So we mentioned that whatever quarterback you draft, if you bring back Geno, is probably going to have a redshirt year of some sorts. Hendon Hooker would definitely have a redshirt year I don't want to use a first-round pick on a guy coming off a torn ACL. Nothing against Hooker. He's a really terrific talent, but that's not something I'm willing to give up for a guy that's coming off an ACL injury. And then there's Tanner McKee at Stanford. Stanford was a disaster this year. They were not a good football team. The one highlight of that team was Tanner McKee. And so he's somebody to keep in mind. David Shaw ran a pro-style offense there at Stanford, so he could come in right away and probably pick up that playbook quicker than some of the other guys coming from the air raid schemes. But McKee was somebody to keep in mind. So for me, I'd consider Young, Stroud, and Levis here, potentially with one of those first-round picks. But beyond that, I'm kind of out. I'm saying, hey, we could pick a guy potentially later on, but Geno's our man for now until next year or until we find a quarterback otherwise. So that's the situation I'm in. Let me know on social media how you feel in regards to the future at the quarterback position for Seattle. Are you all in with Geno long term? Should they look at a quarterback? One of the guys we mentioned here in 2023. Did we miss somebody? Let me know in the comment section or on social media. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live. And I'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right, we're already one segment into the show. Today is Boye Mafe's birthday. Happy birthday to Boye. And I want to know, what would you get Boye Mafe for his birthday? And I'm very curious, as Saigon and others check in, who wants to buy some birthday shots for Boye Mafe? I have me and Jeremy Chuggs here. We got the fireball in hand. Boye Mafe, I've been impressed with him as a rookie so far this year, and I think he's got a bright future. I would love to celebrate his birthday. $5 for every $5 that comes in and super chats is a shot for Boye Mafe for his birthday. So,
what would you get him?
What would I get him? Well, for somebody of his age, who's not too much younger than me, I always think of, what was the things that I wish I would have had at that time. And, I think of stuff like a massage gun or something, That would be nice.
User from the 509, I like your questions. Make sure you're using hashtag Seahawks in your questions so you can get on the mailbag video. Hashtag Seahawks in your comments so we can get it on the mailbag. What's up, Saijan?
Saijan, thanks for joining us, man. Glad to have Saijan here with us. But yeah, I mean, just those little things, those household knick-knack type items that you don't think to buy for yourself. Like,
you know what I would get him?
What's that?
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson would be a very
somebody who could, rush the passer on the other side. So I think that would be a nice gift. Will Anderson.
Yeah, I think Will Anderson. Maybe that's something that they pick up this April potentially. Play along with Boye Mafe.
Maybe with that Broncos pick.
Maybe. I like Will Anderson more than I do any other player. And I didn't mention this in the segment previous, but I would take Will Anderson over any quarterback in this draft. No matter how much you may like Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, I would take Will Anderson before any of those guys to shore up the defense. What would you guys buy Boye Mafe for his birthday? I see user from the 509 says, happy birthday, Mafe. Let's see, Dat Fat Rat, a suit because he looked fly in suits in college. So another suit for Boye. That'd be good. Let's see. Got some other questions coming in here. Use that hashtag Seahawks.
Yeah, Lynn, use hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the show.
Yeah. Yasher's got the right idea. You got to figure out hashtag Seahawks, hashtag Papa Seahawk. We'll get to that question coming up in our mailbag segment here in just a moment. We got a mailbag coming up here, and then we're going to preview the Seahawks game against the Rams, and then got another mailbag segment later on. Lewis says, I would draft him some D-line help. Happy Born Day.
Me and Lewis on the same wavelength.
Yeah. Everybody is thinking that. He certainly could use some help with that defense there. What would you buy Boye Mafe for his birthday today? He's
maybe a shot? Maybe a beer?
I mean,
maybe a spot on the Seahawks Today Boot Hall of Fame?
I have this jug of Fireball here, but I'm not allowed to open it unless you guys send a $5 super chat and we will take a shot for Boye Mafe for his birthday. And Jeremy Chuggs, who is a terrific singer, I might add.
I'm a pretty good singer, not going to lie.
Jeremy would even sing happy birthday to him, but we have to have a birthday shot come in to get Jeremy, to hear Jeremy's lovely singing voice, and to say happy birthday to Boye. We'd take some shots for him, but $5 super check gets
What's up? What's up, Raw?
What up, Raw Hector? Glad to have you here with us. Boo Chuggs. Why is anyone booing Chuggs?
I think because I picked the Raiders to win last week.
I mean, you weren't wrong. You called it. It was with all love last week. You were just being honest. You know, I mean, love hurts sometimes.
Isn't that that Drake song? I'm just being honest.
Right?
I'm just being honest.
Any super chat gets you a shout out. $2. You can ask me or Jeremy Chuggs anything that's on your mind. $5 to take a shot. $10 to chug beer. And for every $150 to take down the boot. I saw people in the chat commented in boot earlier. Guys, if you want the boot, you got to pay for it. We don't just give it to you for free. That's not how that works. $100 gets you a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. So whatever you guys are feeling, we'll take down based on what you guys send in. Let's see.
All right.
Dirty D says, I told you our O-line and D-line needed to show up.
And that's why I said Will Anderson. The D-line did not show up.
No kidding. Let's see. What else we got here?
Gotta get some pass rush help.
Jalen Carter with the first pick. That'd be interesting.
You got the guys on the back end too. You got Tariq Woolen. You got Kobe Bryant.
It's like when you have a big dinner. You know, we all celebrate Thanksgiving, right? And you know, with Thanksgiving dinner, I gotta have my turkey, my dressing, mashed potatoes, my sides, and desserts. And if I'm missing one of it, then what am I doing? I'm wasting my time with all of it, right? It's got to all come together. This Seahawks team, they have their wide receivers. They have their running back. They have their corners. But the interior, the offensive defensive line is lacking. It's not a complete menu.
The defense is like a pizza, Tyler.
Okay.
You have the good cheese.
Sure.
You have some sauce.
Yeah.
You just need that dough to hold it all together,
Right.
You need some defensive linemen, some guys up front.
Exactly. Mailbag segment coming up next. Hashtag Seahawks.
Raw Hector.
Super chat to get on the show.
Raw Hector, that game was insane.
That was. By the way, folks, so Jeremy today gave me some fruity raisin snacks. I am not a fan of raisins. But I got to tell you, Jeremy, these are not bad. I expected them to be worse.
They're blue raspberry flavored.
Yeah. I'm giving these a shot. They're okay. I mean, what do you guys think in the chat? Are you pro or anti-raisins? You like raisins? Why for yes? Almost choked on a raisin there.
Oh, my God. Oh, God.
Why for yes and for no if you're raisins? Jeremy, do you like the regular raisins too, or do you have to go to these fruities?
I'm not a huge raisin guy. I'm actually more of a craisin guy.
Craisin.
The dried cranberries.
Okay. I don't think I've had a craisin.
Really? I got to bring those in. They're really good.
User from the 509 is pro raisin.
It's me, Dio, says that thick, crunchy dough on the D-line.
THICC, thick. The correct way to spell thick. Thick.
All right.
Brian says no way. All right. Let's get to our mailbag segment. Use hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag, and we'll get started with this mailbag segment. Jeremy, do we have enough questions? We ready to go? Cool. All right. Let's get to it. You have questions. I have answers. Well, you're in luck. It is time for another award-winning mailbag segment here on Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. And you may be wondering, how do I get involved in these mailbag segments? Well, here's how. If you subscribe to the channel, then you would know exactly when we go live each and every week. And you can send in your questions to the live chat, and I'll respond to them on our live shows. So, do yourself a favor. Subscribe now, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. If you love your Seattle Seahawks, you want daily news and rumors segments, mailbags, live shows, watch parties, and more, this is the place to be, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. First question comes from Saigon, $5 super chat. Fix the freaking defense and take this shot. You know what? I know we're in the middle of the mailbag segment. I usually save this for later, but Saigon, you have such a point that I'm going to go ahead and take this shot right now in the middle of the mailbag segment. Look, yes, this defense, it looked pretty good there for, the stretch when they were on that win streak. The defense looked like they had turned things around. And then this past week against the Raiders was 2 steps in the wrong direction. Here's a shot to you, Saigon. Go Seahawks. But you looked at this Seahawks team, and for me, the thing that with this group, the fact that they were not able to stop the run the way that they did. I mean, to me, that was just insane to see Josh Jacobs and company run all over this Seahawks defense the way they did. I mean, that's some serious issues here. And I know that they brought in Jonathan Abram this week, and that was nice. I thought that was a good signing. But the issues, here's what I'm afraid of. The issues are bigger than anything you can do at this point in the season right now. You kind of are who you are, and they're just going to have to play through it and kind of figure it out. I think the glaring weaknesses, the bigger issues, probably can't be solved to the offseason, which is unfortunate, but kind of is what it is. Thanks for the super chat, Saigon. Lewis writes, #Seahawks, our offense got over 300-plus yards. Our defense gave up almost 600 yards. D-line help all day. Yeah. Almost 600 yards. Just nuts. And against a bad Raider team. That's the thing that just confused me, was the fact that they did this, against a bad Raider team. It would have been one thing if you would have told me, yeah, they're going to give up those statistics against the Chiefs or even the 49ers for that matter. But the Raiders? They did that against the Raiders. To me, that was unacceptable. The D-line needs help. But like I said with Saigon earlier, I'm afraid that the issues aren't going to be solved here this season, that this is going to be a problem that gets delayed. $5 super chat from Ashley. Which defensive lineman would be your ideal person to get for the Seahawks? What are we talking? We talking draft, or are we talking when it comes to free agency? As I get this shot ready here for you. Ashley, cheers to you. But when I look at for next year, the thing that's going to be interesting for this Seahawks team, and I'll move my fireball out of the way, is that I think when you get past the secondary and past Jordan Brooks, about anything is up for grabs potentially when it comes to fixing this defense and trying to find players here. I know that we've talked about a lot about Will Anderson. He's an outside linebacker, though, so, not necessarily, defensive lineman. But, Geno Carter could be an option. Jalen Carter could be an option potentially out of Georgia. Very fine football player. If you're looking through the draft potentially. When it comes to, free agents and all that, I would say this. I would prefer to build through the draft because you're already building your foundation and it's going to be a lot cheaper for you. This is going to be a young team going forward potentially. And so with that, that's what I'm looking for. I don't know if I have an ideal fit necessarily. I mean, maybe Miles Murphy out of Clemson potentially. Brian Bryce out of Clemson is another name as well. But I think it might be too soon to be saying this guy is the ideal perfect fit. But nonetheless, that's what I'd prefer is guys in the draft as far as I'm concerned. Next question. A-Train writes, if the Patriots bring back Tom Brady, should the Seahawks consider trading for Mac Jones? Whoa. Did I just get that question? Somebody's asking if the Seahawks should trade for Mac Jones? Okay, so there was a story from the Unathletic that came out this week that the Patriots are considering bringing back Tom Brady and that there might be a reunion of sorts between Belichick and Brady, and that would cause them to trade Mac Jones. So let's all put this kind of together here, okay? We're saying that in order for this to happen, the Patriots have to say no to Mac and then bring in Brady both, and then the Seahawks have to also be interested in a quarterback at that point. Look, Bill Belichick is the greatest to ever do it, and I hate to admit that. He has done a terrific job, and if Bill Belichick gives up on Mac Jones, then I'll probably give up on Mac Jones too. I would say this much, that when it comes to Mac Jones, I think he's a talented football player. He could have a very bright future in this league and looks really good against the Vikings on Thanksgiving night. But there's certain guys that you point to and you say, if it didn't work here, why would it work here? And so for me, no, I would not trade for Mac Jones if he can't play with Bill Belichick. Now, if it were a situation where he was playing for a bad team and had, a bad situation, then yeah, that'd be different. But if you can't play with Belichick, probably can't play with Pete Carroll either. So I would not trade for Mac Jones if Bill Belichick gives up on him. What say you, though? Let me know in the comments section. Type HY for hell yes if you trade for Mac Jones. Type HN for hell no if you wouldn't trade for Mac Jones. How are you feeling about the idea? Mac Jones in Seattle? Okay. Let me know what you think. Caston with Ashton writes, do you think the Seahawks have a shot at the number 1 pick through Denver? So I read something that ESPN's FPI projection shows the Seahawks having the number 2 pick through Denver at this point. And there's a lot of bad teams in the league this year. I mean, you're talking about, the Texans, the Carolina Panthers, the Broncos, the Steelers. I mean, there's a lot of teams that could potentially be competing for that number 1 pick. And I'll say this. Here's the thing I would watch for that gives the Seahawks the best chance potentially to get that number 1 pick from Denver is if they shut down Russell Wilson. And they very well could. They could get to a point in the year where they shut down Russ, but the Texans are so bad, and they've already benched, their star quarterback, Dory Davis-Mills, at this point. I mean, I think the 1 might be a reach, but I can tell you this much at this point in time, it's going to be a very good pick. So Caston with Ashland, the 1 would be cool, sure, but don't get your hopes up. Let me put it that way. I would say that at best it's 2. Realistically, it's somewhere between probably 4 and 7, I think, as far as I'm concerned. Yasher writes in, #Seahawks, #Papa Jones. Have teams figured out how to stop Kenneth Walker III? I wouldn't say so. I think the offensive line just hasn't come through, hasn't done its job. Although Kenneth Walker isn't completely blameless, I think he's made some mistakes. I mean, I'm still picturing in the back of my mind about him running backwards the other day. That wasn't good. But I wouldn't say they've necessarily figured him out. It's just been some bad matchups. You look at the last 2 games, and, against Vegas, he still had 2 touchdown runs. The game against Tampa was pretty pitiful. I mean, the team rushing yards, here's where I would say I wouldn't blame Walker here, is because it's not like anyone else did better. It's not like Travis Homer or DJ Dallas came in and just put up better numbers. I mean, it's an issue with the offensive line here, okay? So, yes, Kenneth Walker has some work to do. I think they'll turn things around, but this is not solely on Walker as far as I'm concerned at all. Today's show is presented by BetUS, the exclusive sportsbook partner of Chat Sports. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, use the promo code Seahawks125, you'll get a 125% deposit bonus. Put $100 down, you get $125 to spend for free. You can bet on the NFL, the NBA, the World Cup, college football, whatever you're feeling. Chatsports.com/bet's the place to be. 125% deposit bonus. Promo code Seahawks125 at checkout to get your bets in now. All right, next question comes in. This draft focus on D-line, center/guard, outside linebacker, secondary, Spencer Rattler available in later round. Take him, #Seahawks, #Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. All of that I agree with, except the Spencer Rattler part. I am around the family of Oklahoma fans, and I've seen probably more Spencer Rattler football than I ever should, than anyone ever should, as far as I'm concerned. And I know that Spencer Rattler has had his moments, the Tennessee win, the Clemson win, but Spencer Rattler is not an NFL quarterback. Get that out of your head. Spencer Rattler is not that guy. What's the meme, whatever? I mean, you're not that guy. You're not that guy. Spencer Rattler, NFL quarterback? Nah, not that guy. He's too frantic, makes way too many mistakes. He's way too careless with the football. I want to touch him with a 10-foot pole, personally. I don't care if he's available in later rounds or not. In fact, I expect him to come back to South Carolina next year when it's all said and done. So all of that I like, except the Spencer Rattler part. Next question comes in. Do you expect Jonathan Abram to be an instant starter? No, I don't. I think that Ryan Neal, we've seen him and Josh Jones, both those guys kind of fill the void. Ever since we saw Jamal Adams go down. In actuality, as excited as I am about Jonathan Abram joining this roster, for him, after getting waived twice this month, being on his third team in the month of November, his number one goal is just to get a roster spot, just to hold on to one of the 53-man roster spots. Obviously, he gets on it. When you claim a guy off waivers, you can't claim him to be on your practice squad. I think that's the number one goal for Jonathan Abram. Just hold on to the roster spot. Starting, maybe we have that discussion down the line, but right now, I don't think so. Temper writes in, was it a mistake by the Seahawks to cut Bobby Wagner? So the nerds at Pro Football Focus the other day, I was looking at their rankings of linebackers, and Bobby was ranked number 1 in the NFL. Jordan Brooks was ranked 50th. Now, Brooks leads the NFL in tackles, but Bobby's having a heck of a year. Now, it'll be interesting this weekend with Bobby coming back to Seattle for the very first time and all of that, how the hoorah is, and letting him go to a division rival by releasing him. He signed with the Rams, but obviously the Rams are having a bad year in all of that. I wouldn't say it was a mistake because the Seahawks saved money and they were starting to build for their future, but it certainly did hurt. I don't know if Bobby Wagner is going to continue to play at this level for the next couple of years. That remains to be seen, but I think if you had to ask Pete Carroll and John Schneider if they do it all over again, I think they'd do it the exact same way. I think they would have cut Bobby Wagner again. What say you, though? Should the Seahawks have kept Bobby Wagner? If you think they should have, type K for keep. If you think they made the right move and let go, type L for let go. Let me know, should the Seahawks have kept Bobby Wagner or not? K for kept, L for let go. Let me know in the comment section below. Keaton writes, hashtag Seahawks, if, or probably, we get a top 3 pick. Should we pick a QB like Stroud or D-line like Anderson or Carter? I have said this before. I will reiterate once again. If Will Anderson is available, doesn't matter the quarterback situation, you take Will Anderson. But if you are Pete Carroll and John Schneider and you fall in love with a guy like Stroud or Bryce Young, then I think you certainly consider taking one of those guys. But what Geno has done is he has bought the Seahawks time, okay? We talked about the quarterback situation, some of those guys this upcoming draft. And we talked about that, earlier on. And when I look at those guys, there's some talent. It's a better class than last year. But I like Caleb Williams next year more than I do any of these guys this year. So with that said, you don't have to, but I'm not completely opposed to it. We'll put it that way. Thanks for the question. Join us for our watch party coming up on Sunday. The Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. We'll get started about 30 minutes prior to kickoff. And then we'll get right into the game and react to it in real time. We'll answer your questions and do our live postgame mailbag. All of that and more. You don't want to miss it. Seahawks and Rams coming up on Sunday. Coverage begins 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Kickoff at 4:05 Eastern. Be there or be square. King wants to know, what quarterback would we draft with the Broncos pick? It's, for me, either C.J. Stroud or it's Bryce Young. Those are the two guys. Will Levis, I don't see as somebody that the Seahawks are probably going to take, but these are the top 5 guys according to Todd McShay. I think it's one of those two personally, but we'll see how it all plays out. Those will be the options at this point. Bryce Young is my favorite. I liked C.J. Stroud a lot early on, but I don't like the way that he finished the 2022 campaign. Bryce Young carried that Bama team. I thought that was a big difference between the two. Last question from Dat Fat Rat writes in, if Jamal Adams were to let go or retire from injuries, could Abram be able to step up to that strong safety spot if he does good the rest of the season? Yeah, he'll have an opportunity to prove himself. He certainly could. We'll see. But Jonathan Abram's already been cut twice this year. So don't get your hopes up on that, but we'll see. Thanks for joining us here on another Seahawks Today Mailbag. We'll see you next time. Today, Spotify Wrapped came out, and we all got notified what our favorite tunes and podcasts are for the year. Jeremy Chuggs rejoins me right now. Jeremy, what music do you listen to?
Not going to brag or anything, but I am in the top 6% of J. Cole listeners.
What was the number of minutes? Do you remember?
I do not remember. Let's see. Got to go on my Spotify, my Wrapped. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. I have to click through it.
So, for me, Spotify told me I listened to 38 different genres this year, but my top songs were all country music. So, I'm a diverse man, but country music is still my favorite. I was in the top 0.05% of Dustin Lynch listens.
Oh, wow.
So I was in a very elite status.
You're his biggest listener, basically.
I'm in the very elite status.
My top songs, Solid by Drake and Young Stoner Life, Dollars on My Head by Young Thug and Gunna.
Okay.
I keep on having to click back because it doesn't let me hold it.
Right.
What are my other top songs? Let's see. Nail Tech by Jack Harlow, Ramen and OJ by Joyner Lucas and Lil Baby, Super Gremlin by Kodak Black. Those are my top songs.
Okay. What music do you guys listen to? Let us know in the chat. This was my top 5 songs this year. Party Mode by Dustin Lynch. Thinking About You by Dustin Lynch. Riding Roads, Dustin Lynch. Beer Never Broke My Heart, Luke Combs.
Ice cold, long neck beer never broke my heart. Like diamond rings and football tees that tore this boy apart. That's a great song. 371 minutes listening to J. Cole. What did you say that you were?
2,239 minutes.
Listening to
Dustin Lynch, yes.
Oh my God! How much do you listen to music?
Quite a bit. And Still Going Down by Morgan Wallen was my number 5 song.
See, I listen to a lot of sports talk radio and podcasts.
I listen to a lot of podcasts too.
But dude, 2,000 minutes. You like going to sleep to that music or?
Well, my number 1 podcast, which I was going to sleep to quite a bit, was Joe Rogan. That was my number 1 podcast. I love listening to Joe Rogan. What do you guys listen to? I see Saijan, classic rock, rock and R&B, blues, classical, hip-hop, and country. So Saigon is pretty well diverse. William Allen, the Raider fan. We still got Raider fans infuriating my chat. Andy James, good choice, Leonard Skinner. Sweet Home Alabama, where the skies are blue. Can't go wrong with Leonard Skinner.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Yes? Yes. Oh, yes. Jeffrey, come here.
Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart.
So, Jeffrey Cooperstein joining us. Jeff, get on screen here. There we go.
Had a great time with y'all last Sunday.
Jeffrey Cooperstein is here, and I'll put my mic so Jeffrey can get
What's going on?
So Spotify Rap came out today.
Yes.
Favorite music. What's some of your favorite tunes?
I'm a big Drake guy. I like all kinds of music, though. Rock, country, little pop, rap. I like everything.
Okay. What did your Spotify Wrapped look like today?
I'm on Apple Music.
No! That's a cop move.
Cop.
That's a
I
cop
am
to be
on
on
Apple
Apple
Music.
Music.
I am on Apple Music. I apologize, but
Wow.
I can tell you Drake's my most listened to.
Okay.
I can tell you that.
All right. Jeff, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Everybody spam Boo Jeff in the chat for being
Totally,
an Apple Music guy.
totally wreck the vibes with
Yeah,
your
you killed
Apple
it.
Music.
Sorry.
Apple Music.
I'm just going to change the whole subject. What do the Seattle Seahawks need to do to beat the Rams?
Show up. Have you seen the injury report for the Rams?
Not looking good.
It's lengthy.
Not looking good.
I mean, it's going to be Jalen Ramsey and Bobby Wagner against the Seahawks, basically, at this point. I mean, in all seriousness, for me, I want to see the Seahawks run the football and establish the run. Where's the run game gone the last couple weeks? That would help. What about you, Jeremy? What do you think the Seahawks need to do?
I think the Seahawks just need to get back to what they were doing before with a good run game. The offensive line, Aaron Donald I believe he's still out, correct?
Aaron Donald is out, yes.
So, I mean, you should be able to dominate on the line of scrimmage. The Rams' offensive line is not very good. So you got to get back to dominating the line of scrimmage. And I think that would really help the Seahawks this weekend. But, I mean, also, if Matt Stafford's not playing, you got to win this game.
You have to. Would you like me to go over all the injuries here for the Rams? This is something here, folks. Matt Stafford, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, Joseph Noteboom, Ashawn Robinson, all are out and all make a lot of money. Let's see. Dirty D says, stop the run and make the backup QB beat you. Okay, here's the test for everybody out there. Can you name the backup quarterback for the LA Rams? Jeremy Chuggs, you built the graphics today. Do you remember who the Rams backup quarterback is?
Oh, yeah.
And it is? Or we want to wait and see if they can answer?
Yeah, I'm about to say, you just want me to give it to him?
Okay, no, not quite yet. Let's see. And guys, no cheating. Don't go look it up. But see if you can name who the backup quarterback is. I'm not seeing any comments. Do you guys not know? It's okay. And you could be honest with me and say, I don't know. But who the backup quarterback is. Okay. Andy got the first name right. I'll give you that. Let's see. Saigon saying spread the rock around the field, show some defense. That's good. Let's see. Who else? There we go. There's the answer. Coming in there from Zua. Bryce Perkins is who's starting for the Rams, assuming Matt Stafford can't give it a go. I would guess Matt Stafford's not going to play. He was just at the Mavericks game in Dallas just last night. So I think he's still recovering from that concussion. Real quick, before we get to this, let's show the Super Chat menu. We had some Super Chats that we covered right in the middle of the mailbag. That's the first time I've ever taken shots during the mailbag, but you know what? I was feeling good around here. It is Boye Maffe's birthday. Every shot today is a salute to Boye Maffe, a birthday shot for him. Every $5 Super Chat. Any Super Chat gets a shout-out. $2, you can ask me or Jeremy Chuggs anything. $10, we'll chug a beer. I have my Michelob Ultra in hand. Can't drink this at the World Cup, but by golly, we'll drink it here. And for every $150 that comes in, we will take down the boot. We have $10 in so far, so we are $140 away from the boot. And if you send in a $100 Super Chat, you get a spot on the Seahawks Boot Hall of Fame. I would love to induct you and give you a spot. If you're already on the Boot Hall of Fame, you can get on again, or you can have someone else join you on there. So whatever you're feeling, I would love to induct some more people to the Boot Hall of Fame today. Coming up next, Seahawks and Rams preview. We'll give you some keys to victory, my official prediction for this game, and go over the injury report and more. Coming up right now here on Seahawks Today. Jeremy Chuggs, we ready to go? All right, let's get started. It is Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us as we get you ready for your Seattle Seahawks taking on the Los Angeles Rams. And on this video, we'll give you a preview of this matchup, also keys to victory, the injury report, my official prediction, all of that and more in just a matter of moments. Before we do, if you want to beat the LA Rams, here's what I need you to do. I need you to like today's video. I have been told that if you like today's video, the Seahawks' chances of winning on Sunday will only go up. And so don't be the guy. Don't be the reason why that the Seahawks lost because you didn't like the video. I heard the reason why the Seahawks lost last week against the Raiders was because we didn't have enough people like our game preview video. So don't risk it this time. Go ahead and like today's video if you want the Seahawks to beat the Rams. Seattle and Los Angeles. And this game is pretty fascinating. Kind of an underrated matchup here, I think personally, because of the storyline that goes along with this game. The homecoming, the return of Bobby Wagner to Seattle. We already saw one homecoming this year, and that was when Russell Wilson came back to Seattle week 1, and he was met with several boos in that game, right? And the Seahawks ultimately came out on top. What's interesting about this Bobby Wagner thing is that he did not choose to leave. He was caught by Seattle, but he did choose to go to the Seahawks division rival, the reigning Super Bowl champs in the LA Rams here. So although the Rams are struggling, and the injuries have certainly stacked up for this team, Matt Stafford, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, Joseph Noteboom, Hassan Robinson, who all make a lot of money. And all those guys look like are not going to play here. Even with that said, what looks like an easy win for the Seahawks is still going to be very interesting just to see Bobby Wagner back in the building and what this game will go with Bobby coming back. So with that, who you got? You going with the Seahawks or are you going with the Rams? Be honest with me. Give me your prediction for how this game will ultimately play out. If you're going with the Seahawks, type C for Seattle. If you're going with the Rams, type LAR for the Los Angeles Rams. Chime in the comments section. Give me your official prediction. Who wins this game? C for Seattle, LAR for the Rams. Will he play for the Seahawks? The notable name to watch for is Ryan Neal, the safety. Pete Carroll said a couple days ago he expects Ryan Neal to be fine for Sunday's game against the Rams, but the Seahawks did just make a move for Jonathan Abram, previously of the Packers and the Raiders. So makes you wonder, was this a cautionary measure here? What amount of Ryan Neal are we ultimately going to see on Sunday? That'll be something to monitor. Meanwhile, coming off IR in the PUP list, Darryl Johnson, Isaiah Dunn, Tyler Ott, Alton Robinson, and John Rhattigan. We will continue to follow their statuses. And unlikely that any of those guys play, but if something changes, we will let you know. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get to my keys to victory. What's it going to take for the Seahawks to get it done against Los Angeles? Let's dive into it. First off, the Seahawks need to establish the run. The run game for this Seahawks team has been awful. It's been atrocious the last 2 weeks. And, I mean, there was so much good going on with this group to begin 2022 when Kenneth Walker was there alongside Rashad Penny. Penny goes down, and then Kenneth Walker just stepped up, and he was ready for his moment. But the last 2 weeks have left a lot to be desired. As a team, they only rushed for 65 yards against Las Vegas and only 39 yards against Tampa Bay. And then Kenneth Walker in those games had 26 yards against Las Vegas with 2 touchdown scores and only 17 yards against Tampa Bay. So, obviously there's room for improvement. I don't think this even falls on Kenneth Walker for the most part. He's not blameless. I did see him running backwards on his own last week. But with that said, the offensive line has to do a better job, and this run game needs to get going. In that win streak the Seahawks were on, when they won, 4 or 5 in a row, they ran the ball well in every single game they won. Got to establish the run. got to get Kenneth Walker going early. So with that, you tell me, will Kenneth Walker have a bounce-back game this week? If you think he will, type Y for yes. If not, be honest with me. If you don't think it's going to happen, type in for no. Let me know in the comment section below. Y for yes, in for no if Kenneth Walker will have a bounce-back game this week. Next on the keys to victory, Bryce Perkins likely getting the start for the Rams with Matt Stafford dealing with concussion-like symptoms. And Bryce Perkins, now to his credit, just even making it this far, being an undrafted quarterback out of Virginia is an accomplishment in his own right. But with that said, from what we've seen, he hasn't been good. A completion percentage less than 56%, 2 interceptions, a touchdown, and only 161 yards. Bryce Perkins has not been very good. And if you're this Seahawks team, I take my chances on letting Bryce Perkins just swing it around and see what happens personally. I am not scared at all of Bryce Perkins. And I think what you do is you load the box, you shut down the run game, and make Bryce Perkins beat you. If you do that, I think you're in pretty good shape. I don't think Bryce Perkins is going to have this miraculous day of some sorts off the bench. I'll take my chances with that. I'd go after Bryce Perkins and let him kind of do his thing and see what happens. Got a great deal we're offering Seahawk fans here on Seahawks Today. You can get hoodies and sweatshirts up to 50%, that's right, 50% off at chatsports.com/C hoodies. And whether you're a guy or girl, I can tell you, it's cuffing season, right? And we all want to stay warm and be feeling good, right? Well, the Seahawks have some great attire here for you. And if you want to look warm, if you want to be styling, might as well be representing your favorite team here in the winter months. Get yours now, right in time for the holidays as well, at chatsports.com/C hoodies. Get yours today, chatsports.com/C hoodies. So with that, not only making Bryce Perkins beat you, I think it's important for the Seahawks to stop the run. Listen to this. It is well documented that the Seahawks were awful last week in stopping Josh Jacobs and the Las Vegas Raiders in the run game, but it's been a problem for 2 straight weeks, folks. Here's your stat. The last 2 games, the Seahawks have given up a grand total of 444 rushing yards in 2 games. That's unacceptable. That's ridiculous. 444 yards in 2 games? I mean, I wish the offense was able to rush for that right now. But that is going to be so key, stopping the run. They are dependent on that run game. Cam Akers, who looked like he was going to get traded a few weeks ago, is leading the way. Darrell Henderson obviously is out there now. Got to stop that run and get that right away, get those 3 and outs going. Fill in the blank. The Seahawks MVP against the Rams will be who? Let me know in the comments section. Is it going to be Geno? Is it going to be Jordan Brooks, Tariq Woolen, DK, Tyler Lockett? Give me one name. Who will be the MVP for the Seahawks against the Los Angeles Rams? Let me know in the comment section below. And be sure to join our watch party coming up on Sunday. We'll get started about 30 minutes prior to kickoff, about 3:30 Eastern time. Kickoff about 4:05 Eastern, 1:05 out west for the Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. The homecoming of Bobby Wagner. It is going to be a dandy, folks. You'll want to be here. We'll do a little pregame, react to the game in real time, have a few drinks on hand, too, a little postgame show as well. Be here or be square. You won't want to miss it. Seahawks and Rams right here on Seahawks Today. All right, a few more here for you. And if you know me, you know one of the things I love to point to offensively is going all gas, no brakes, right? I think that was something coined by Steve Sarkisian a while back, but it's something I've believed in for a long time. And this Rams offense, remember they were so good a year ago, what they were able to do with Matt Stafford and the weapons that they had on that team. Offensively, they were just so dynamic. But this year, far from it. The Rams have not scored over 20 points in the last 5 games. I haven't said this very often about this Seahawks team, but this week is an exception. I'm not afraid of a shootout. I'm not afraid of trying to score fast and just lighten it up, running no huddle all day. As far as I'm concerned, the Seahawks could go 60 minutes of hell on this Rams team and just light it up all day long. Sure, the defense might be on the field longer, but I'll take my chances. I think you can just wear them out and go fast-paced and put up points, and the Rams aren't going to hang with you. I'd go all gas, no brakes personally. Last, but certainly not least, and that is winning the turnover battle. Now, I know this much. The Seahawks have actually done a pretty good job when it comes to winning the turnover battle, but for me, this more so points to the Rams and the Rams' struggles when it comes to the turnover margin. Get this. The Rams are 29th in the league in turnover margin per game. Giveaways, they're near the bottom at 28th. Takeaways, 29th. And interceptions thrown, they're averaging almost 3 interceptions thrown a game. So, with that said, yes, the Seahawks have done a pretty decent job, even in their losses, of taking care of the football. But this is more so about taking advantage on the Rams and forcing turnovers that way, as far as I'm concerned. So, to recap, keys to victory. Establish the run. Please get the run game going. I beg of you. Make Bryce Perkins beat you. I'll take my chances. I mean, he's not that good. Let's be honest. Got to stop the run. Have to. All gas, no brakes. Turn in a shootout for all I care. The Rams aren't going to be able to hang with you. They don't have the offense for it. And win the turnover battle. The Rams are very turnover prone. Seahawks do a pretty good job taking care of the football, but take advantage of that weakness from L.A. Before we go, crystal ball time. Get those crystal balls out and predict the score of the Seahawks-Rams game. What will it be? How much will these Seahawks win by? I already know you're picking Seattle, but by how much? Let me know in the comments section how you think this game is going to go. My pick, I think this is ugly. This is the bounce-back game the Seattle Seahawks need badly. I know it's kind of hard to make a statement when you play a bad team, but I do think they send a message of some sorts that they're back after the last 2 weeks, the way things have gone. I like the Seahawks 34-13. As always, you can follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, at Tyler Jones Live. I'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right, we have one more segment. We got another mailbag we'll get to here in just a second, but be real with me. Who is the Seahawks' most important player this season, and why? What do you guys think? Who is the most important player for the Seahawks in 2022? Very curious what you guys come up with here. For me, the easy answer is Geno Smith. For what he's been able to do, get this offense to maintain things even after Russell Wilson left, for this offense to not even miss a beat, to be even better than what they were last year. Geno Smith has been the constant for this offense. Even the last 2 games when the run game was not working, Geno's actually played fairly well here in these 2 games. He wasn't why they lost. For me, that would be the most important player. What say you guys in the chat? Who is the Seahawks' most important player and why? I'm ready to read the comments right now. Whatever you guys got, let me know who is the most important player for this Seahawks team and why. Charlie the Unicorn said Russell Wilson on the Broncos. That's funny. What else say you guys? Jeremy Chuggs, what's your answer here?
My answer, the most important player this season and why? I mean, it has to be Geno.
Yeah.
Like, if Geno wasn't having the season that he's having right now, you'd be talking about having 2 top 10 picks.
Right.
This season. But Geno, his play, his surprisingly good play this season has been probably the biggest. And, I mean, the quarterback touches the ball every single play on offense. So
Right. Let's see. I see offense, Geno Smith. Defense, Tariq Woolen. It's speaking up with Geno and Tariq there, what I find interesting with that answer is that, the so-called experts, the pundits this year that undermined this Seahawks team did not know what was in the building of how good the talent really was in Seattle. They weren't able to count that Geno was going to play this good.
Yeah.
They didn't know that Tariq Woolen is a 5th-round pick was going to play at a at a Pro Bowl level as a corner. So for me, those great unknowns certainly are important there for what they've been able to put up.
Oh, yeah.
What else do you guys have? Let's see. Dirty D says, Geno keeping the team competitive when we were supposed to be bottom feeders. That's a very good answer, Dirty D. It is happy hour here on Seahawks Today.
Hey.
We only have $10 in Super Chats. What's the deal, guys? It is Boye Malfe's birthday. Every $5 Super Chat, we salute Boye Malfe. Tell him happy birthday. Any Super Chat gets a shout-out. $10, we'll chug a beer. $2, ask me anything. If we get to $150, we'll take down a boot. We're at $10 right now, so we're $140 away from a boot. And for every $100, you get a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame.
And if you Super Chat, put you at the front of the line for our mailbag coming up.
Yes, that's how that works. Here's what I want to do. Super Chat's been a little slow today. Jeremy, here's a bet. I'll do this. Okay. I'm going to put a minute on the clock. And whatever comes in this next minute, for this minute only, go ahead and put the half-hour menu back up there. Whatever comes in this next minute, I will do double what comes in. Even if that means a boot, I'm doing 2 boots. Just for this 1 minute, put a minute on the clock. If you buy me a shot, I'm going to drink 2 shots. If you guys ask us anything, then you get another question in there. 1 minute on the clock, a 1-minute special. Who is going to bite on this and see a 2-for-1 just for the next 45 seconds? What we'll offer here. So we'll see if anyone wants to jump on that. Hawks family saying, I just want to draft Will Anderson. I get that. I think we all want Will Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody wants Will Anderson. So 30 seconds on the clock. Any Super Chat comes in this 30 seconds. It is a 2-for-1 special. You get 2-for-1 of anything that's on the menu of what we're offering today. So not only for happy hour is everything discounted from what it normally is during the week on the watch parties, but I'm even taking things a step further because I feel generous right now. Charlie the Unicorn says a quickie for 60 seconds. Oh, Lord.
Just a quickie.
Oh, Lord.
Just a quickie.
A quickie. What do you mean by that, Charlie?
Oh!
Okay. So I got to do 2 beer chugs. We'll see if any others come in as YouTube processes. But this one, user from the 509 with a $10 super chat.
Well, and user from the 509, we're actually going to put your question as the very first question in our mailbag today.
So, user from the 509, I will do the 2 beer chugs, though, before we get to the mailbag. I will pay that off. The first one for you. There's one down. I got to open up my other Michelob now.
Ayo.
See what you did? All right. Listen to this. I'll put it up to the microphone so you guys can hear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
There you have it.
That's smooth, right? Here's another chug for you. User from the 509. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's have ourselves a day, right?
Oh! Daniel freaking Jimenez.
He's a Raiders Report regular, right?
That's my guy. My guy, Danny.
So
Danny, I gotta come up and take some shots for him. That's my guy right there. Hold on.
Okay, so that was 2. He sent in $20, so that's 2 beer chugs, at normal rates, so 4. You know what? How about this?
I'll take 4 shots.
You take 4 shots, and I'll do 4 beer chugs.
My guy, Danny.
1.
And it's not Daniel Jimenez. I don't know if you knew this. It's Daniel freaking Jimenez.
Daniel freaking Jimenez, the Raider fan. Are you guys going to let a Raider fan come in here and own this chat? I appreciate Daniel. Welcome. Daniel freaking Jimenez getting into the Seahawks chat. Welcome. Glad to have you here, man. But are you guys going to let Daniel be the top super chatter of the day? Daniel freaking Jimenez, a Raider fan. He's got the Raider logo in his profile pic.
That's my guy.
I had 2 more of these to drink. Man, can you believe that we're going to have a good time and people in Qatar don't get to live like we do?
Dude, people in Qatar, I'm sorry.
Could you imagine choosing to go to Qatar? I don't care if the World Cup's going on. I'm not going to Qatar. Oh. Yeah, have some raisins here.
Blueberries.
Raisin.
Or blue raspberry.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel. Eat some more raisins here. One more for Daniel. Daniel, I know you're a Raider fan, but you're $80 away from having a spot on the Seahawks boot. You guys already beat the Seahawks once. Would you like to get on here and own a spot on the Seahawks boot? $80, and you could cement victory on this thing potentially. And that's $100 for anybody out there. We are also now $110 away from taking down Das Boot as well. So we'll see if anybody bites on that, if we're going to get the boot. One more mailbag segment. Use the hashtag Seahawks to get on the mailbag, or you can super chat to get to the front of the line on the mailbag as well. So that's what's ahead. Our final segment. Jeremy, do we have all our questions we all squared away? Okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get to it. Our final segment of the afternoon. Yeah. Let me pull that up here in just a second. Jeremy, as I'm pulling that up, tell people how they can get involved in the mailbag here.
Guys, 2 ways to get on. Hashtag Seahawks. Just like I've seen some people do it in the comment section. Just like Dat Fat Rat does. Just like Zoe did. Hashtag Seahawks. In your Charlie the Unicorn, getting some hashtag Seahawks in there.
All right.
Or skip the line like user from the 509. Super chat.
All right, burp coming, and then we'll start the mailbag. Oh, that was weak. I'll be honest. Not my best effort, Jeremy. Oh, there we go. That was better. Getting weird looks from Jeremy over there. Oh, all right. Here we go. Mailbag time. Hashtag Seahawks to get on the mailbag show, or super chat to get to the front line. Let's go ahead and get started here on Seahawks Today. Time for another mailbag here on Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here with you. Happy to have you with us. You guys have questions, and you're in luck because I have answers for you. And you may be wondering, how do I get involved in these mailbag shows? Well, we do them on our live editions of Seahawks Today every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. So here's what you need to do. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a moment, and you can be a part of these mailbags here on the channel. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. First question is a $10 super chat from user from the 509. Does Seattle pick a wide receiver with their second first-round pick? The answer is no. That's not happening. You have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And even despite the rumblings about Tyler Lockett's future, I think that Tyler Lockett's back next year, and they hold serve, and they build with these two guys as is. But just for curiosity, let me tell you about the wide receivers in this upcoming draft. You got Quentin Johnson out of TCU, really good player with a lot of size, 6'4", 215. He's been electric in the Big 12 Conference this year. He's been a big reason why TCU is a contender for the college football playoff. Then there's Jordan Addison from USC. Remember, he was at Pitt, and he transferred to join Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams, and he's been terrific this year. I like his pro potential. I like also from Ohio State, Jackson Smith is another good receiver. Josh Downs from North Carolina. This wide receiver class isn't as good as last year's class. We've seen wide receivers have gotten a lot better in most recent drafts. I think this year the wide receiver class is kind of down, but just based on need-wise, no, I don't think the Seahawks draft a wide receiver in the first round, but we'll see. Next question, will the Seahawks win the division? Man, I hope so. I hope they do. The Niners are going to be tough. And something to keep in mind here, too. The Seahawks are a game back. but they're really 2 games back when you think of it because the Niners have the tiebreaker right now. So basically, if you're this Seahawks team, what you have to do is that you have to win against the Niners, win the head-to-head, and then hope the Niners lose another and gain a game that way too. It is a steep hill to climb for the Seahawks to try to come back and win the division at this point. Will they? I want to say yes, but I'm not confident. I am confident they'll make the playoffs, but I'm not confident they'll win the division at this point after losing to Las Vegas last week. Glass Tomato says, what will it take for the Seahawks to make the playoffs? Well, I think 10 wins gets you there. I think a 10-7 record gets you in the postseason. And the Seahawks are already at 6-5, just 1 game above 500 right now. And I think you get a win this week against the Rams. I think you beat the Panthers. That puts you at 8. So let's say that magic number's 10, right? Okay? You got those 2 there. The Niners game is a toss-up. The Chiefs game, probably a loss on the road at Arrowhead. And then you finish out with the Jets and the Rams. Well, quick math. Out of 6 games left, there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts you at 10. And then you still have the Niners and the Chiefs game potentially. So, yes, I think the Seahawks right now get into the playoffs with a 10-7 record, potentially 11-6. We'll see. But, yeah, I do think the Seahawks make the playoffs. What say you? Will Seattle make the playoffs? If you think they will, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Let me know in the comments section. Y for yes, in for no if you think Seattle makes the postseason or not. Ashley writes in, do the Seahawks go after another running back in the draft? And if so, who would be the best option? So the Seahawks, it's so interesting. This running back position for Seattle has certainly changed a lot. We were talking, remember, before last year's draft that, you know, you had Rashad Penny, you had Chris Carson. Did you even need to draft a running back? Well, Chris Carson was not in good shape. Obviously, he retired. And then Kenneth Walker, he got hurt and you got banged up again. Or not Kenneth Walker, Rashad Penny, rather. And so you were left with Kenneth Walker pretty much. And so with that, yeah, I do think you are going to have to draft a running back in this next draft. Some of the options to keep in mind of this next draft class, Bijan Robinson is going to be the number 1 running back to go off the board out of Texas. I think Bijan's actually going to be a first-round pick. I don't think the Seahawks draft Bijan. I don't think that's their priority to go running back that high, but he's a name to watch for. Blake Corum out of Michigan, I like a lot. And I'm not just saying that because my boss, James Yoder's a big Michigan guy, but Blake Corum, if it weren't for the injury, he might have been holding up the Heisman Trophy. Tank Bigsby out of Auburn is also another guy I like. Just the name Tank and a running back, how could you not like that? Those are a few names to keep in mind. I do think Seattle goes with a running back. I would be surprised if it's in that first round, though. Ninja writes in, do you think the Seahawks will be a first-round exit if they make the playoffs? All depends on who they play, right? I mean, if they're the 7 seed, you would face the 2 seed, which would be the Vikings right now. That'd be a tough matchup. If you slide in as the 6 seed, then you'd be the Niners. And we already saw earlier this year the Niners handled the Seahawks pretty well. So, I mean, they wouldn't be favored, I can tell you that much, more than likely, but it's not insurmountable necessarily. They very well could still win a playoff game or 2 potentially. Not to sound too much like coach speech here, but got to take it 1 game at a time. We'll see. We are offering a great deal just for Seahawk fans. Hoodies and sweatshirts up to 50% off. Chatsports.com/CHoodies to get yours today. Look, folks, it is getting cold outside, okay? You need to dress warm, and you might as well represent your favorite team while doing so. You're in luck because the Seahawks actually have style and stuff that looks good, unlike the Cleveland Browns who just look ugly. The Seahawks, I mean, there's some swag involved. So if you want to rock out with your hawk out and represent the Seahawks, you're in luck because we have some great attire for you and on sale up to 50% off. Chatsports.com/SeaHoodies to get yours today. You'll be glad you did. Charlie the Unicorn writes in, with the number 3 hypothetical pick in the 2023 draft, do you keep the pick and draft BPA or drop down a few spots and grab another first-round pick in 2024? I think that's a big hypothetical at this point here. I'm not looking ahead to, getting picks to 2024 yet. I think it's too early to say, if you would trade down or not. I see where you're going at, Charlie the Unicorn. I know everyone's excited about the drafts and all that, but to me, that's too early to say, would I trade down or not? I would lean towards stay with where you're at. We've seen in recent years that teams that trade up, you got to give up a lot. You got to give up a package deal. I'm not just trading down for a first-round pick next year. I need more than that potentially. So in that scenario, no, I need more. AJ writes, how many more years will Carroll be the head coach? He's old AF, and I low-key want Waldron to be the next head coach. So I've seen some rumblings around Seahawks land about Shane Waldron being the next head coach of the Seahawks, been promoted from OC to head coach. I think we're looking at, realistically, Pete Carroll goes a couple more years. The timing, I don't necessarily know if that's going to play out. Shane Waldron's name is probably going to come up for head coaching jobs this year, okay? Unless Pete pulls a Bruce Arians and just out of left field says, yeah, I'm done, then I don't see that scenario playing out where Waldron becomes the head coach. I think Pete is a very young, 70, 71 years old, if you want to put it that way. Heck, our president, say what you want about him, he's 80 years old. So, maybe 70 is the new 60 now or something here. So with that, I think Pete goes a few more years. I think he goes at least 2, maybe 3 more years at this point. I doubt that Shane Waldron is going to have that window to be the next Seahawks head coach at this point. What say you? What's your confidence level in Pete Carroll moving forward? Scale it for me 1 through 10. It's much higher for me now than it was at the beginning of this year. The man is understanding analytics. That's a big step in the right direction. He's throwing the football on offense. He's letting Geno cook. I'm more confident in Pete Carroll than I was at the beginning of the year. Scale it for me 1 through 10, what your confidence level is in Pete Carroll. Next question. I feel Abram will be much better in Seattle. His type of scheme he played in college is similar to Seattle's current defensive scheme. I think that's a little optimistic. Jonathan Abram already has been with 2 teams this year in Green Bay and Las Vegas, a former first-round pick back in 2019. He's obviously talented, but I'm not getting my hopes up that Jonathan Abram is going to be this difference maker for this Seattle team. It's optimistic. I see where you're coming from, but I would say don't get too excited just yet. Scott writes in, Will Anderson or Jalen Carter? Will Anderson. Will Anderson every time. I will preach to the tune of Will Anderson from now until the very day of the draft. He's got to be your number 1 pick. Don't care what your quarterback situation is. Will Anderson is that guy. He is something special. Will Andersons do not grow on trees. Nothing against Jalen Carter, but Will Anderson is that dude for me. Yes, Will Anderson is it. Hashtag Seahawks, we need more pass rush. We had none against the Raiders. Yeah, for as much it was made about the run game of stopping the Raiders' run, having issues there was no pass rush either. So it's just all bad in that department. You're right. User from the 509, what's going on with Darrell Taylor? That's kind of the million-dollar question at this point, isn't it? What the hell is going on with Darrell Taylor? I don't know what to tell you. It's not good. It's not good with Darrell Taylor. He has been a problem and been a point of frustration for this Seahawks team. Nothing makes sense. It does not add up. I don't have an answer for you. I don't know why he's playing the way he has and why this has not gone well for him, but hopefully he turns things around. Subscribe to the best Seahawks Today YouTube channel. It's right here each and every day as we bring you daily news and rumors segments. Got a watch party on Sunday for the Seahawks and Rams game. Get things started about 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, and then the game will kick off at 4:05. We will react to the game in real time. We'll have a few drinks in hand, do a little post-game coverage as well. This is the place to be. Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for the latest news and rumors, the latest happenings in your favorite team. This is the place to be here on the channel. All right. So that is the final segment. We are just about done here. Don't miss our watch party. Seahawks and Rams coming up. We'll begin. Should be a great time. And I'm certainly going to enjoy it. I know Jeremy Chugs, he'll be busy this weekend. He's got some stuff going on, but it'll be certainly entertaining. You won't want to miss our watch party. We had a hell of a time for that Raider game. Jeremy, I know you were helping out the Raiders stream, but just win or lose, no matter what, like, we always find a way to have a good time here on the channel and here at Chat Sports, no matter what watch party's going on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tyler keeps it fun. And with that, 1 minute. 1 minute left.
1 minute on the clock. We are $110 away from taking down a boot. $100 gets you a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. $2, you can ask me or Jeremy Chugs anything. Any super chat gets a shout out. $5 will take a shot. We're doing birthday shots to Boye Mafe. $10 will chug a beer. And clock is on. If we get a super chat in the next minute, we stay on. If not, we sign off, we call it a day, and we see you coming up on Sunday. So it's up to you guys. This is your show. If you want us to keep going, we'll keep going. If not, we'll sign off, and we'll call it a day. So, Jeremy, how much time do we have left on that clock?
We have about 20 seconds left on the clock.
20 seconds on the clock. We also have our poll question. Let me refer to that one more time.
20 seconds left on the C clock.
The C clock. I like it. Should the Seahawks draft a quarterback in the first round? 55% of you say no. 45% say yes.
Team Geno.
Okay. And that's with 227 votes coming in. If you guys want to stay on, send in a super chat. We got about 20 seconds on the clock. Otherwise, we'll sign off and call it a day. Up to you guys if we keep going or not. Watch party coming up on Sunday. Don't miss it. 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 on the West Coast. And I believe Tex is going to be back.
Oh, Big Tex.
Big Tex. Me and Tex leading the way.
Oh!
Daniel freaking Jimenez!
Daniel freaking Jimenez!
He wants the shots. $5 shots.
That's
a
8
Raider
shots.
fan. That's 8 shots.
Daniel, just
Jeremy,
letting you know.
take some of these for me.
Daniel, just letting you know. You're $40 away from getting on the Seahawks Boot Hall of Fame.
I mean, Daniel.
And you can put LV on it if you want.
We can put LV on it with your name.
Or we can put your name in RO4L.
Right? I think Daniel wants on the Seahawks boot.
RN4L.
Okay.
RNFL.
$5. Can you guys
8
believe that? You're letting the Raider fan control this show and keep it going. Is a Raider fan, after already beating the Seahawks on Sunday, going to own this show and be the MVP of today's show? Daniel, love you. Glad to have you here, man. But, whoa. Are the 12s going to respond now? Here's your chance to respond. And that puts us now, quick math, we're at $80. Jeremy, we need $150 for the boot. So, little quick math. Where are we at on the boot now? Full spilly action. That's okay. Didn't get on the laptop this time.
Oh, no.
There's one.
That was really full shot.
Yeah.
That was 2. 6 more.
6 more. Let's go. Dirty D. Thunder. $70 away. $70 is what we need at this point, guys.
Probably unicorn better at math than us.
Yes. Facts. There's another. Cheers.
Woo!
Let's keep it going. Folks, how can you not enjoy what you're seeing right now? Guys just talking football, having some drinks.
Just two guys being dudes.
Just guys being dudes. Cheers. One more, shall we, Jeremy?
One more.
One more. One more.
Dirty D.
Thunder. Dirty D. Thundering. Dirty D. Thundering. Here we go. Cheers. Daniel.
Freaking Jimenez.
Daniel freaking Jimenez. Daniel. Oh, yeah. Daniel getting the job done. Buying the shots. And Daniel is, with that, $40 away from a spot on the Seahawks Boot Hall of Fame. As if it wasn't bad enough that the Seahawks lost to the Raiders on Sunday in terrible fashion. Now it's the Raiders that are owning our Super Chats today. The Raiders coming in, holding their own, and Daniel Jimenez.
My guy.
Daniel freaking Jimenez.
Daniel freaking Jimenez.
Has beaten the 12s in Super Chats by himself. Are you guys going to let that happen? Are you guys going to let that happen, or is Daniel going to own this today?
I'm going to restart the clock. 1 minute.
1 minute
1 minute.
on the clock. $70 away from a boot.
Uno minuto.
$100 gets you a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. Daniel is $40 away from a spot in the Seahawks Boot Hall of Fame.
Damn.
$5, we're taking shots. $2, you can ask me or Jeremy anything. Any Super Chat gets you a shout out. Jeremy, start that clock. Here we go.
Here we go.
We get a Super Chat, we stay on. If not, we sign off, we call it a day. We go eat dinner, we enjoy ourselves.
What are you having for dinner, Jonesy?
That's a good question. What should I have for dinner?
Is this a cook or you're picking something up?
I'd have to pick something up. I'm leaning towards Whataburger tonight.
Ooh, a little water?
Let's see. Rock out. What kind of stream does he do? Streaming. What are you talking about?
Daniel said he was streaming on YouTube and then saw me.
Oh, okay.
My guy. Daniel.
Very nice.
Freaking.
Daniel
Jimenez.
freaking Jimenez.
Daniel Jimenez.
Daniel Jimenez, the Raider fan, coming through on the Seahawks chat.
You're thinking Whataburger?
I'm thinking Whataburger tonight.
A little double cheese action?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's what I was thinking. What are you doing for dinner tonight?
I have Trader Joe's has these awesome meatballs.
Oh,
I'm
you like
making-
balls?
Oh, in my mouth. I'm making meatball subs tonight.
Ooh. Can I come over?
Little meatball sub action?
Yeah.
You gonna take Sadie for a walk?
I'll take Sadie for a walk. After I eat that meatball sub, I'll need a walk.
A little meatball sub with some mozz on top, melted.
Oh, yeah.
Melted over the top.
How much time's left on the clock?
About 5 seconds.
5 seconds. We get a super chat in the next 5 seconds. We stay on. If not, we sign off. Up to you guys. It's your show.
Dirty D. Thundering. Dirty D. Thundering.
And we'll give it a couple seconds to let YouTube process
Dirty
things.
D.
But let's see.
Thundering. Dirty D and the Thunder Rings. Dirty D and the Thunder Rings.
Daniel, I know Daniel wants that spot on the booth.
I think Daniel was just hit it and quit it. He just wanted to get those shots in real quick, get me a little juiced up for the end of my day. My Daniel freaking Jimenez getting a little liquor in my system. Oh! Daniel! Freaking Jimenez!
Oh, Daniel! Freaking Jimenez!
Das Boot!
Das Boot! And the Boot Hall of Fame for Daniel freaking Jimenez.
Daniel!
The Raider fan.
Daniel!
Daniel! Daniel! Daniel! Daniel!
Now, Daniel, who do you want to take the boot? I'm guessing it's me, but we'll see. Do you want me or Tyler to take the boot, Daniel?
Daniel, I was planning on it, but if you want Jeremy to, we can have Jeremy.
You single-handedly got us the boot, so I need to know from you, Daniel, in the
It's
chat.
your pick.
Who do you want to take the boot? Me or Tyler?
Yeah. Let us know.
Daniel, freaking Jimenez.
And we got to induct you on the Seahawks boot.
Oh, wow. You got to put
LV or
put RN 4L.
RN4L.
Raider Nation for life, baby.
Raider Nation. Oh, man. The Raiders, man, guys, the 12s, you guys, not only did they lose on Sunday, but the 12s have been embarrassed today in Super Chats by Daniel Jimenez. Daniel freaking Jimenez has come in and taken over the Super Chats. And 12s, what happened today? I expected more. I expected more out of the 12s today. And Daniel came in and said, like, we're running up the score.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. We're running up the score. That's what he's done.
Go ahead and get his sticker on the Boot Hall of Fame.
I actually grabbed the wrong marker. I grabbed the white one. You can't see that.
Wow.
I know. Bad job by me.
Daniel, let us know who you want to take the boot down in the comments.
So Jeremy, I'll go get the boot ready and go get the right marker for the Boot Hall of Fame. And you go hold things down for us. I'll be right back. Jeremy Chugs, everybody. Jeremy's going to hold things, and let's see if we get more Super Chats while I'm gone, too. Will we get a Super... Oh, there's another. Oh! TJ takes the boot. Okay. All right. I'll go get mentally ready. Jeremy, it's all yours.
There we go. Daniel freaking Jimenez coming in. Bang, bang. Daniel Jimenez train. There we go. And my guy, he knows it's a Thursday or it's a Wednesday. I'm trying to chill out a little bit. He said, I'm going to give the boot to TJ. I'm going to give the boot to TJ. Over under 16 seconds on the boot. That's a good question. That's a good question, Charlie. What do y'all think? Over under. Over under 16 seconds on the boot. I'm going, I don't know. TJ's already a little liquored up. I think I'm going under. Let me know. O for over, U for under. How many? 16 seconds on the boot for TJ. Over or under? What are y'all thinking? I'm thinking under. I don't know. He is a little liquored up. TJ's a little liquored up. Charlie, what do you think? Over or under 16 seconds on the boot for Tyler Jonesy, the Jones machine. Dirty D says he'll go over. Not a lot of confidence in TJ. I think he can do it. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go under. I don't know. He's filling up the boot right now. Dirty D says he's going over. Sijin says over. Oh, couple overs. Charlie, what do you think? Over or under? As TJ back in the flesh. I think at this point I just keep this on and you take it.
Let's induct Daniel first.
Oh,
He's got to be on the boot when I drink it.
Dun da 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 da.
Daniel freaking Jimenez.
Daniel.
What do I need to write on here for Daniel?
RN4L and then Daniel Jimenez.
Yeah, I got to take down a boot. Seems, how you doing, bud? Oh, nice. So, Danny Jimenez, here you go. You are going in the Boot Hall of Fame. Even as a Raider fan, we still appreciate you, man. And you credit to your team. They performed well. They came through in overtime last week. And now this is your turn to own this boot. To own the chat today. This has been your day.
This is Daniel's world. We're just living in it.
And Daniel, welcome to the Boot Hall of Fame. There you are at the feet of the boot. Actually,
it's beautiful.
Let's see. Here we go. Yep.
It's beautiful.
Now you're there, Daniel. Welcome to the Boot Hall of Fame.
Not a lot of confidence in you. You got a couple overs for 16 seconds.
16 seconds. That's the time we're going for today.
16 seconds. They said over. I'm saying under. I think you can do it.
I think I can do under 16. I'm feeling good today. Sideways, I think it's my best bet. And we'll go from there. There we go.
I heard that's how they do it in Asia.
I don't even know what that means. All right, here we go. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1. Can he do it? Can he get under 16 seconds? TJ taking it down. He's going to town at it. Can he get there?
Okay.
How do you think you did? You have a nice beer stash right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought it was over.
You have a nice beer stash. Goal! Golasa! Golasa! Golasa!
16!
Goal!
Here we go, Jeremy. Chest bump. 3, 2, 1. Oh!
Let's go!
Go! Let's go!
That right there, that's bigger than U.S. beating Iran. Right there. One of the best stories in sports this season. Tyler Jones taking down the boot under 16 seconds.
We're going to see that in Qatar.
Do you believe in miracles? We did it. We did it. Wow.
Woo!
Wow. Holy wow. Oh, Tyler. Tyler, what a showing.
What a showing. We did it. Great work, everybody. Never a doubt. Never a doubt. Got it done. Woo! Got the beer mustache. I'm feeling great. A little bit. But you know what? We got the job done. We got it done after we got the cuts in. So, there's another burp. All right. Clock goes back on. 1 minute remaining. We get a super chat in the next minute. We keep going. If not, we sign off, and you can join us for our watch party coming up on Sunday. Daniel Jimenez, welcome to the Boot Hall of Fame. Glad you are here. Sijin, my apologies to you, TJ. My bad, brother. See, that's what you get for doubting me. Sijin, that's okay. I love you anyway. Sijin super chatted us today. Sijin's a real one. I will not hold it against you, Sijin, that you did not bet I would get under that on the boot. So there we go. Daniel freaking Jimenez is on the Boot Hall of Fame. This thing is filling up too, by the way. So 15 seconds. So we get a super chat in the next 15 seconds. We stay on. Otherwise, we sign off, and we see you coming up on Sunday. Get started at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, and then we'll have the game. We'll react to it in real time, have some more drinks. We'll probably drink some more boots, I imagine. And we will also do our live post-game show as well. So that'll do it. Guys, we will see you on Sunday. He's Jeremy Chuggs. I'm Tyler Jones.